Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to another video. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, it's another cooking video, and in today's video I'm going to be making a giant Yorkshire pudding, and I'm going to fill it with some roast chicken, roast potatoes, parsnips. I also roasted some peppers and onions as well, and everything was done in my air fryer. My air fryer oven specifically, but you can make this in any air fryer. It works absolutely fine. I have done this before in my Ninja as well, and it worked out perfectly. But today I'm using the air fryer oven because I wanted to make giant Yorkshire puddings, and of course I can't fit a giant one in my Ninja. I wanted to make a round one and I can't get a dish big enough in there, it wouldn't fit. So yeah, I just thought this is a really good one if you are fancying a roast dinner, maybe on the weekend, then you can just try it all out in your air fryer, because you'd be surprised how well it turns out, and it tastes so delicious. So I won't keep you too long at all today, so we'll jump straight into today's recipe and I'll see you at the end. So first off, we're going to make some marinade for the chicken. So I've got some Greek yogurt. I'm using some of this ready-made steak and chop seasoning. It's a marinade, you can use your own or you can buy a store-bought. Then I'm also adding in some oregano, some coriander powder, some paprika, some food colouring and a little bit of oil. Now mix everything together really well, make sure everything is well combined, and then grab your chicken. So I'm using a full medium chicken, and I'm just going to pat it down with a paper towel to dry off any excess moisture. Then I'm taking a knife and I'm going to pierce some holes into the breast. This just helps the flavours really get into the chicken and make it very flavourful and not bland on the inside. Then I'm just going to start coating it with that marinade that we just made up. Make sure you coat the whole chicken really well. Then you just want to pop it onto a baking tray. So I'm using this baking tray that comes with my air fryer oven. I'm just going to set this aside and start on my veggies. So I'm starting with some potatoes. I've just peeled them, washed them. I've also got a parsnip here that I'm going to chop up. Then I'm using 2 red onions as well. I've got 2 of these pointed red peppers. You can use normal bell peppers if you wish. Now you just want to cut everything up into your desired size, and then we're going to pop everything onto the baking tray along with the chicken. So I'm just going to prep all these veggies now and then we'll move on. So veggies are now prepped, so I'm just going to spray around the chicken with a little bit of olive oil, just where the veggies will go, and then you just want to add everything on like so. So I'm just going to surround my chicken with all of those veggies. So here is what it's looking like, and now I'm just going to cover it with some tin foil. So what I like to do is cover it, cook it for about 45 minutes, and then I remove the foil. So this is going straight into my air fryer oven. I'm going to pop it in the middle shelf, and I'm going to use the rotisserie chicken preset function, which is set at 180 degrees Celsius, and it goes for 45 minutes. So that's what I'm going to stick to. So now that the chicken is cooking away nicely, I'm going to make a start on the Yorkshire pudding batter. So I'm starting off by adding in some plain flour, then I have some eggs, and I'm just going to whisk these 2 ingredients together until it becomes nice and thick. And at this point I'm going to gradually add in some milk as well, continue to whisk that, then add the remaining milk and whisk a little more until I have a really nice smooth batter. So I do like to season the batter a little bit with some salt and pepper. Then I'm just going to stir that in, and then you want to set this batter aside until you need it. So I like to pop it in a container or a little jug and pop it into the fridge. So it's now 45 minutes later, so the foil is now coming off, and this is what it is looking like. So at this point, what I'm going to do is season the veggies. So I'm just going to sprinkle on some roast potato seasoning. I am being very generous with this because potatoes especially need lots of seasoning. And then what I like to do is just get some butter. This is just unsalted butter, and I'm just going to pop it all over the veggies and the chicken. It just really helps with that flavour. And at this point, I'm just going to carefully turn over my veggies, and then I am going to pop this whole tray back into my air fryer oven, and I'm going to choose the same settings again. So just to remind you, it's 180 degrees Celsius, and it's going to cook for a further 45 minutes without the foil. And after 45 minutes, this is what the end result was. So as you can see, everything is beautifully cooked now. So I am just going to set this aside until I cook my Yorkshire puddings. But what I did do in the meantime, I just separated the veggies from the chicken, and then I shredded my chicken. For my giant Yorkshire pudding, I'm using this cake tin. So I've just poured in some oil at the bottom, and I'm going to pop this into the air fryer at 200 degrees for 5 minutes to heat up. And here it is straight out after 5 minutes. Now just pour in Yorkshire pudding batter that you had in the fridge. Pop this into the air fryer oven, and I am going to cook this on 180 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes, but actually 15 minutes later it did need an additional 5 minutes. And once it was done, this is what it looked like. I actually ended up making one more after this, just to feed everyone in the family, but I'm just going to now load it up with all those delicious bits. So I've got the chicken that I've just shredded, I've got my roast potatoes, look how good they look. Then I've got some parsnips. I'm also adding in those roasted caramelized onions and those peppers as well. These peppers are absolutely delicious. Then I actually made up some green peas as well, so they are going in the center. And then of course I just loaded up with some gravy. I just used the Bisto gravy granules for this. And this was the end result, guys. How amazing does this look? And let me tell you, it was absolutely massive. This easily feeds 2 or 3. I'd say 2 adults and maybe a child as well, but like I mentioned, I made 2 of these, so there was so much food for us all, and we honestly enjoyed it so much. There's something about a roast dinner that you just can't beat, and I think this way it just looks so much nicer and more presentable. Make yourself a giant Yorkshire pudding and just impress everyone around you. And honestly guys, you need to try it in your air fryer if you haven't before, because the air fryer does an amazing job at cooking a roast. So that's it guys, I really hope you enjoyed it. So there you go guys, that's how I made this delicious roast dinner in my air fryer. I will of course leave all the ingredients and measurements in the description below, so if you do want to follow along, head on down there. Don't forget to like this video if you have enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below, we'll have a little chat down there, and I will see you in my next video. So take care until then, bye guys.